So at John Carroll, we fully understand Pope Francis's call and encouragement to go out into the world. The world is our house. So every academic, experiential, and formative opportunity that John Carroll student gets is meant to be taken out into the world and to, face the challenges that they will face personally, the challenges that they face from the standpoint of our communities and the world at large, homelessness, climate issues, immigration, all the justice issues around social justice, economic justice, and environmental justice.
We recognize that many of our students come to us unchurched, a vague sense of spirituality. They don't know how to necessarily apply beliefs to the work that they're doing. And so what we try to do is infuse our Catholic intellectual tradition and Catholic social teaching in our programs so that students begin to make a link between the work that they're going to do, the communities that they're going to live in, and the need to serve the greater good. And when I think about Catholic social teaching and a preferential option for the poor, for instance, a part of our mission is to serve the underserved. And so we dedicate some of our resources, our time, the talents of our faculty in order to kind of reach to those students who are on the margins so that they have an opportunity for this mission-rich, spiritually alive kind of education. That's how we see our work in the field.
So for us, and we trace this to our founders of the Ursuline, St. Angela, she says, cling together with bonds of charity. She says, value and recognize the importance of community. So when we're talking about church in the field, we're talking first about how we become church and how we become community for each other, and how we get to know ourselves in community. We are different people. We are better people when we are people in community. And then how that translates then from the classroom, from the textbook into real life. So we talk to our students right from the beginning about finding a value and a purpose in what they're doing, in the commitment they make to their studies, into the commitment that they're making to their future, and the commitment it will make to the greater good of the community.
I think our inspiration on serving the Lord with gladness comes from the Society of Jesus and their 4 apostolic preferences. Showing the way to God, so this is finding God in all things, walking with the excluded, care for our common home, which is this dedication to our environment, the stewardship of the earth. And then the final one, accompanying youth to a hope-filled future. This is a time when there's a lot of indicators in the world that would make it sometimes difficult to find a hope-filled future. And I think that's really sort of our inspiration. So we do the first 3, right? This showing the way to God, walking with the excluded, care for our common home, by accompanying students as they discover their hope, their joy. And I find even as we try to lead them, that we also find opportunities where they're leading us. We have a program, JCU in the City. It's internships with our students working with community partners, the issues of food insecurity, early childhood education, community organizing, and a number of other community benefit organizations that the students serve with.
Colleges and universities are by nature joyful places, not without their moments, right? We all have those moments, but it's a joyful place. But when I think about how do we link this faith identity with this joy, things like, we have Day of Service coming up where we're going to have 100 students going out doing 100 works to celebrate this and linking that to our mission. Football season's about to begin. Of course, there's nothing kind of more joyous on a college campus than a football game. But, the players gather for prayer with our campus chaplain before. So we link these moments where we say, yes, it's good to do that, but we're going to do this in the name of the Lord, and we're going to compete, in a way that we hope is civil and it embodies the kind of the mission of the institution. And you see that played out over and over again. We begin our senior team meetings with prayer. It rotates through the cabinet members. And so there's always this link. And again, understanding that our students come from many traditions, we have, a mass celebration for students on Sunday evening. For faculty, staff, we have a prayer time on Wednesday, midday. There are Bible study groups and things like that. And again, not all students do it, but there are these moments of expression where we kind of link this faith with this joyful college experience. And I think that's one of the ways in which we try to bring that to life at Notre Dame.
Serve the Lord with gladness, come before him singing for joy. These are lines from a psalm. And it's a reminder to us always that we are anchored in our religious faith and in our scriptural tradition. And on a college, there are ways that are particularized to each campus that make that possible. One of the things that we do regularly is that we give a kind of ritual that is a marker of professional identity and professional joy. So for our nursing students, before they go out for their first clinical experience, we have a blessing ceremony. We read a psalm, we read from the Gospels, and we dedicate those hands that will be taking care of patients to goodness. And that's a moment of professional identity, but it's also a great moment of joy for those people who are entering the profession. And we like to think, too, that there are institutional moments of joy. So every time a university or a college opens a new program or hires a new faculty member or brings in a new staff member, or for us at the beginning of a year or a semester bringing in a new class, those are moments of institutional joy for us that help us share God's gladness with everyone.
As crazy as it sounds, there was kind of a light bulb moment. It was my freshman year, second semester, which was right before COVID happened. I was working with CSSA, and I was doing a one-time drive at the Cuyahoga Hills Juvenile Detention Center. And it was when I was there, we did this program called Power Source, where we just spent an hour and a half each Saturday spending time building relationships with 5 different individuals that were living at that facility. And it was really this that kind of sparked everything, because the peace, justice, and human rights aspect of, recognizing individuals as individuals, no matter where they're at in their lives, no matter what decisions they've made, and tying that in with the criminal justice aspect of political science really kind of sparked that. And that's the first moment where I really realized, okay, this is something that not only am I passionate about, not only do I find joy in this, but something that, allows me to mend both of these things together.
I have grown in my faith and my compassion for others while attending Ursuline College, personally and academically. Academically, I have got a job at Cleveland Clinic as a PCNA, so a patient care nursing assistant, and I help the patients take care of their basic needs, attending at the hospital. I have also attended a retreat through the Ursuline College where they had a partnership with Notre Dame, and I was able to take a break and connect more with God. And then personally, I have grown, finally finding a new church home for myself. I've always identified as a Christian. However, I've been looking for a new church home, which I was actually fortunate enough to find. I am also a student athlete on campus, and it's kind of difficult to juggle everything. But Ursuline has provided church services late at night on Sunday nights, so that's going to be more convenient for me. I am also looking forward to joining the new Faith and Fellowship group that my school is offering. One of the advisors for the group is actually a track and field coach. I am looking forward to finding a group that I can finally join and feel more connected with.
Being around a community that was different from my beliefs has shaped and broadened my understanding of my belief of God and my belief of how to view others, people, perspectives. I got involved with Bible study because of a professor that was part of campus ministry. At first, I started as just someone who was attending them, and eventually I started leading the Bible studies. And during these Bible studies, I've been able to reflect on, not just the Bible, but personal things in my life, and grow in areas as far as my understanding of who God is. So I've grown in compassion by having the chance to serve more. At NDC, we serve at a local church, and it's this program called Kids Club, where I'm able to mentor. We help the students with their homework, we get to play basketball with them, and also I was able to attend some services with them and learn about God as well.